In this lesson, we're going to learn how to find the volume of prisms and cylinders. So let's get started. The first one we're going to look at is the volume of a rectangular prism. And a rectangular prism, you may think about maybe a cereal box. That is a rectangular prism. The volume will be actually the cereal that the space takes up inside of the box if the box were full. And so the formula that we use is volume equals length times width times height. So basically you're just multiplying all three of your lengths there. So volume of a prism, length times width times height, and you're just multiplying all three numbers. So volume, I'm going to multiply 10 times 14 times 4.5. So just multiply all three of your numbers there. That is 630 inches cubed. And I have found the volume of this rectangular prism. Now we're looking at the volume of other prisms. And the formula is volume equals base times height. The base, the large B, is the area of the base, and the height is the height between your bases. And if you recall, if you watch my video on surface area of prisms and pyramids, remember that a prism has two bases. And so if you're looking at this figure to the left here, the bases of this prism are triangles. So you look and see what your two bases are, and you will find the area of one of those bases and then plug it in. All right, and the height would be the height between your two bases there. So let's try this one. This is a triangular prism because we have two triangles right here and on the other side. Hopefully I'm not confusing you here, but we can see those two triangles. So whatever you have two of, that is your base. And so this is laid on the side, and so it doesn't necessarily, your base doesn't necessarily have to be at the bottom, as long as you look for the shapes that you see two of, and that would be your base. And so this is a triangular prism. So the area of the base, which is is the triangle here. I'm going to use this one, doesn't matter. So the area of this triangle, of every triangle, is 1/2 base times height, right? So 1/2, the base of this triangle here is 11. The height of the triangle is right here, that is 5.4. And sometimes they may have the dimensions on two separate faces, but you can still get the same information there. So when I multiply that through, 1/2 times 11 times 5.4, I get 29.7. And so I'm going to call that B because that is the area of the base. Now I'm going to go back and plug it into the formula to find the volume of this prism here. So volume equals the base, which is 29.7, times the height, and the height is in between your two bases. And so again, just going to erase this here. The height would be the 16, and it is the 16 because it is in between your two bases here. All right, so make sure you're using the correct dimension for your height, and that will give me 475.2 millimeters cubed. So again, if you notice, we did not even use the 6, and so sometimes you're given extra information that you don't need. And so find the area of your base, get that, and then the height is in between your two bases there. So we have found the volume of this prism. All right, so example 3 here, I would like for you to try on your own. Find the volume of this rectangular prism as well as the prism to the right. Try to identify your bases first and use that formula for the area of the base. So go ahead and pause the video and try these two problems on your own. Alright, so for the volume of the rectangular prism, you should have gotten 3,744. And for the volume of the trapezoid prism, you should have gotten 11,187.5 meters cubed. So the base was the trapezoids. I intentionally did not give you the formula because I wanted you to try to figure it out on your own, but the formula is right here. So your bases were trapezoid. So hopefully you got it correct. If not, go ahead and pause the video and analyze my work here just a little more. So now let's take a look at the volume of a cylinder. And if you think of a cylinder, it is like a canned good. And so the volume would be actually the food inside of the canned good, the amount of space it takes up inside of that can. And so the formula for volume of a cylinder is pi r squared times h. So I'm just going to use that formula and plug it in. Remember, r is your radius right here. So it goes from the center of the circle to the edge. And so, you know, a cylinder has two circles, and the height is the height of the can, or the height of a cylinder. So it goes from one base to the other. So it's still the height between your bases, because the base of a cylinder is a circle. So plugging it into this formula, volume equals pi. The radius for this cylinder here is 18, goes from the center to an edge, squared, and h is 15, so it's the height there, and I just multiply that through. So 18 squared is 324 times 15, 4,860 times pi. When I multiply that through with pi, I get approximately 15,268.14 inches cubed. So we have found the volume of this cylinder, and the cylinder is also a prism because it has the two bases that are a circle. So of course, you know, I want you to try a problem on your own, so go ahead and pause the video and try to find the volume of this cylinder here. Alright, so you should have gotten 1,995.7 millimeters cubed, or meters cubed rather. Hopefully you got it correct. If not, keep the video or pause the video and analyze the work here just a little more. Alright, we've reached the end of our lesson. I want to thank you for learning with me. Some related videos are a surface and lateral area of prisms and pyramids, as well as volume of pyramids and cones. If you haven't already, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And once again, I want to thank you for learning with me.